The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello, welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And we are here at a weird time. I know some of you called.
Yes.
Called CJ. I got a call or two also. Yeah. Where's the show? Where's the show? Unfortunately, we had something that I guess is the first time it's ever been held here, firefighters'
the
graduation.
firefighters' graduation.
Probably because our mayor likes the optics of having it here, and it takes away from having it at the training facility, which focuses on the firefighters.
Well, not only that, I mean, I would think that he would want to have it at his showpiece at the Durfee High School. I mean, they've got the room in the auditorium, they've got the cameras already there built into the auditorium, and they could broadcast it live.
You mean like while classes in session and people are sticking tampons on the wall and
yeah,
having
exactly.
fist fights in the hallway?
Right.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think that's the reason it was here.
Yeah, probably right. Probably right.
So,
last night the mayor had a good time.
Oh yes, he did. He did. Another great topic I heard. Yeah. Kenny and the mayor were...
Kenny called me, "Hey brother, how are you?"
Brother.
Yeah.
Brother CJ.
I was like, am I wearing a collar?
Did you start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare? I don't know. But look, of course they're having a good time. It's a photo op. But who did he thank? The what? Food truck thing.
The Providence Food Truck Committee.
Not people who run food trucks in Fall River.
And he said there were several vendors from Fall River there. There were two.
Several.
Troy City Brewing.
More than one.
Yeah, it is more than one. Troy City Brewing and Primo Catering, which did the wine. Troy City Brewing did the beer.
So they had the alcohol.
They had alcohol.
Which makes the most money.
Right.
And also should probably never be served in Fall River, a thing like that.
Now, you ready for a slap in the face? The cheapest item in the whole thing was a $3.50 cup of Dell's frozen lemonade. Okay?
I heard that Awfuls were
$8. Yes.
Oh my Lord.
$8.
That is awfully big for a number. You can drive up to the top of President Avenue and get one for about $4.
$4.50, yeah, $4.50.
$4.50 or something like that. And they have a day where you get like one free or one half.
That's on Mondays.
Yeah, you know that. I don't drink Awfuls. I only drink like real fraps.
They haven't done it. They didn't do it last year though because of COVID. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring it back this year.
Again, outside vendors, outside
Not one dime came back to the city of Fall River.
And it's like all these other things, the boat races and everything else. Look, if they worked, Fall River would be Newton.
Right.
Or almost Newton.
Right.
We'd be in almost Newton. Because we've had, Fall River celebrates, but I used to have thousands of people there. But who made the money? The vendors, the people in that general area. They have the Feast of the Holy Ghost.
Right, which Carlos can't get a carnival.
Carlos can't get a permit for a Fall River thing.
Fall River event.
Where they come from everywhere, from Canada and everything else. And look, I didn't see Fall River. They've been doing that for years, for decades. That does not infuse the economy. What infuses the economy is small businesses. And small businesses cannot survive in Fall River because our mayor doesn't have a clue about how a city runs. Cities like this run on small businesses. And in order to have small businesses, you have to have people with jobs.
Well, I'll tell you how much he knows, okay? He was asked on WSAR before I came in, what is the police department complement and what is the fire department complement? I don't have those numbers. He never seems to have a number.
Yeah, but he went to the graduation.
Right, but he went to the graduation, but he had no number.
Look, it doesn't matter. All he wants to do is march at the parade, stand in front of the camera, talk about these things, and it's, look.
And be at a beer blast.
Again, look, I don't, they're going to say, oh, you don't like them. Every time we used to have a debate, you say we were friends. I don't know if we're friends anymore. I don't hold. What I'm talking about is his performance. Like I said,
That's what I talk about.
If my plumber sucks, he's not going to be my plumber.
Right.
You know, if my electrician sucks, he's not going to be my electrician. He sucks as a mayor.
He does.
I'm sorry.
He does.
He's the king of the kids. Mm-hmm. He is what he is.
He even has a movie scheduled for this
What
month.
is it? Yeah, we got another movie. What does he do as the mayor? Does he worry about, have we seen a real concentrated effort on dealing with crime, getting jobs, getting apprenticeship? No. Do we hear anything about saving the people of moderate and low income from this horrific increase we're going to see? No. What does he do? Look at him at the council meeting, fist bumping the clerks.
Yeah.
It's like, look at me. I'm Mr. Nice Guy. Well, okay, you are. Maybe you are. And as somebody to have a hamburger with, maybe it's okay. You're a nice guy.
Maybe have a beer summit.
But I hate to tell you this because, you know, he was a vice principal.
Never made principal.
Never made principal. And I don't even know how he made that because from the stories I got from people, they said, well, but he doesn't have any idea what leadership is. Leadership is not being everybody's friend because you're a leader. You can't be everybody's friend.
That's right, you can't.
You have to make decisions that are not going to make people happy because as a leader, that's why, and I can't believe he's in the military, unless the Boy Scouts count for the military, but they don't. That's why in the military they have a line of demarcation between officers and enlisted men because the officers can't fraternize with the enlisted men because they're going to have to give them orders.
That's right.
And they're going to have to discipline those people. They have to make tough decisions. So you can be friendly, but you can't be everybody's friend. That's being a politician, not a leader. You want to be everybody's friend. Okay, as John Kennedy said, and I think I might close my citizens' input on Monday with this statement, and I'm paraphrasing now. When you serve in public service, at the end of your career, you will be judged whether you were a politician or a statesman, whether you worked for yourself and your political party or for the people. So this is the thing. You can't be everybody's friend. You're supposed to be a leader. You got to make hard decisions. You got to tell your friends, no more jobs. We got an inflation. Everybody's crashing. It's nobody can survive anymore. You can't fill up if you fill up your car, you can't eat. If you eat and fill up your car, you can't buy your medications. I mean, I go in there and it's mind-boggling when I listen to these people. It's like, do you have any clue of what the majority of people in Fall River live, how they live, that they actually have budgets? You don't want to give us the number that everybody talked about? I can't write my budget without numbers. That is our money. We deserve that. And now he's like, oh, well, you know, let's have another parade. Let's have another movie night. Let's fist bump. Yo, look, I don't care. You know, don't you all want to go to heaven? Well, where I go is my own business, but I'd like to be able to at least live with two nickels to rub together. And people like you take everything they can away from us. I don't see anything being discussed about rent assistance, about assistance to low and middle income people, let alone the super low income people and the fixed income people. This is ridiculous. And to segue into something I know CJ wants to talk about, to show how bad it's going to get ready to rumble, people. Get ready to rumble. I got a letter from my bank.
So did I.
And so did CJ. I'll tell you about mine, and he'll tell you about his, because this is even worse than mine. I got a letter from my bank, and look, I've had my house for a long time. A long, long, long time. And you get a letter I used to get a letter every once in a while, since these people have taken office and constantly, I'd get a little letter saying, no, your mortgage has gone up from this to this, okay?
Because you're escrow.
Because of my escrow.
Right.
Right, because of my escrow.
Your principal payment never changes.
What is
Your escrow
this
does.
up on the screen here?
What? I don't know.
Okay. But we have an escrow because my taxes are taken
Yep.
out too. It's easier for me just to pay the things there and not worry about forgetting the bill or something like that. So, and I guess CJ does too. So,
Yeah.
So we keep an escrow account. I've had it for years. And every once in a while, I get a letter saying, well, your tax bill, not my mortgage, because the mortgage is fixed. I got a
Right,
fixed rate
right.
mortgage. Let me make that clear.
So do I.
But your tax bill is going to go up X amount of dollars because your escrow account, maintain your escrow account. Well, this time I got a 2-page letter. They're giving me the handwriting's on the wall, people. The handwriting's on the wall. When a bank sends you a 2-page letter of banker and federal legislation gobbledygook, you're in deep doo-doo. We are in deep doo-doo. They're telling me how the federal government requires this and that and the other thing, and you read the thing and you go, gee, what the hell is it? All kinds of stuff. Bottom line is, my taxes are, they're looking at a major increase for me to pay my escrow, and it's major. CJ can tell his story, but let me say something before I finish. If you get that letter, and if you have a mortgage, you probably will.
Yep.
It's a not too distant future. Remember, sit down if you're standing up, because I'm going to give you the bad news. That number is as good as it's going to get, because that number is predicated on the assessed value of your house at the bank now.
Right.
Wait till Paul gets through with his warp speed increase on the price of your house so he can hammer you with more taxes. So just remember, when you get this number and you're flabbergasted and you go, how the hell am I going to afford this? Multiply it by 2, because that's probably what your house is going to go up after the assessment. And that's not including the override. So there you go. I hate to ruin your weekend, but I'm going to talk about this at the council meeting in our short citizens input, but I'm going to go back with the statistics showing them that apparently some of them don't realize who the majority of people are in the city of Fall River. We have below the poverty line, barely above the poverty line, and a little bit above the people who are above the poverty line. That's the majority of people in Fall River. The majority of people in Fall River are what used to be classified as working poor. That's what we have. And the developers are not going to cure the problem. Empty market rate housing is not going to fix Fall River. People living in the streets is not going to fix Fall River. And that's what we're going to have here, because where are they going to go? Newton? They'll get arrested in Newton. So I just wanted to know, now CJ, I know you and I talked about it.
Yep.
And as bad as I felt when I read that letter, after you told me your numbers, I cracked open a beer. And I don't drink much beer.
I don't drink beer at all. But what was interesting was I got a check in the mail first for over $1,300 saying that I had overpaid my escrow. And I'm like, $1,300? How can I overpay my escrow, $1,300? So I contacted the bank, and they said, oh, well, based upon your tax bill from last year. And I said, yeah, but that doesn't take into consideration what's coming up. Well, what do you mean? I said, the taxes are going up in Fall River. We even have a debt exclusion, which is going to add more money to the taxes. Oh. I said, you need to check with our assessor's office. We'll get right on it. We'll check with the assessor's office. All of a sudden, I get a tax bill in for $1,800. $1,800 from the bank. So I sent them back their check for $1,300. I owe them $500. I have an option of paying it over 12 months or just paying it.
Welcome to the world of
Paul
Mayor
Coogan.
Coogan.
Yeah. I don't use the term mayor for him very often.
Well, we'll give it to him on this one because we want him to be responsible. So we're attaching that because he's supposed to be. And I can tell you, all the movie nights, all the car parades, all the fist bumping in the world will not fix this. Because when people get this, when people get these bills, Humpty Dumpty is going to fall off the wall and he's going to crack in so many pieces he will never be able to get put together again. Because we won't have enough money to put them together.
None of Paul's horses and none of Paul's men will put Humpty back together again.
It's going to be catastrophic. It is going to be catastrophic. And let's see what the city council does when they learn about stuff like this. If they ignore that, guess what? I don't know how we're going to hang on, but we got to hang on. We got to hang on for a year, November. And I'll tell you, it is. Our viewers are already texting us,
yep.
So get ready. I'll tell you, I don't know how we're going to hang on. It's with the gas prices, with the food prices, with inflation. Oh, good. One of our regular viewers has just said, "Welcome to the world of Cooganomics."
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's so
There's
true.
a new term.
Yep, we have a new term. We have Keynesian economics. We had. We had
Trickle-down economics.
We had trickle-down. We had Milton Friedman's
Yep.
economic theories, and now we got Cooganomics.
Cooganomics.
Just bring in a whole bunch of developers that don't live here. Bring a whole bunch of food trucks that don't live here. Bring a whole bunch of everybody that doesn't live here. Let them make some money, and then let them bail out. Like I did when I retired. Oh, wait a minute, he came back, but not for long. So. Let's call a spade a spade. I mean, we're going to get killed. Anybody that doesn't believe that is delusionary. And I don't care how much nutty putty he puts in from the opera money. It's only going to be for this year. It's not reducing your taxes. It's delaying the execution.
Well, I got to correct a couple of things. You said something about rental assistance.
Yeah.
He did give rental assistance. He had Catholic Social Services manage the program. But everyone that's approached them has more difficulty getting any rental assistance from them than anything else. They want pay stubs. They want sources of income. They want rental records. They want to see an eviction notice from the court. They won't do anything unless they see an eviction notice from the court, by which time the landlord doesn't want them.
Well, exactly. And look.
But they want the landlord to sign the payment.
But you know what I do. That's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
That's not rental assistance.
No, it's not.
Rental assistance is when people are having difficulty, like we have fuel assistance. You don't have to have an eviction notice to get fuel assistance from CFC, do you? Wake up. We got another guy that wandered around in the bubble of the academia, walked around in the school department when they never run out of money. They just stick their hands in their pockets and go, "Oh, net school spending, give us more money. We're going to get 6 more people to screw in the light bulb." So he comes over to the city side and he thinks he's still there. He's not. You're not dealing with children. Stop with the movies. Stop with the car parades. Do something for the people who are dying with inflation and taxes. And then we can call you a leader.
Well, in the budget hearing that we were at, did you hear? Well, we both left before the school department started talking, but I watched it from home. Did you hear how many employees the school department was hiring? Over 120.
Well, they got to at least double what Fall River made.
Yeah.
Quadruple, quintuple it.
Yeah.
You know, that's right. Hey, that's what we do.
Now,
this is what we do.
Where are they being funded from? Are they being funded from the escrow money, which means they'll run out, and then how will we support them? Oh, it's the school department. It's simple. Go to the city for more money.
It's like I said, education reform needs education, and this is where he came from. Because their thing is just adding money.
Right.
I remember a time long ago in a universe far, far away where politicians used to get thrown out if they didn't perform. And they didn't care about the taxpayer.
That's when people used to vote.
But look what and we had them, they weren't all living in Somerset, Swansea and stuff, they all bailed. But the fact is that, listen, when is somebody ever going to reform the school departments? The entire nation, the public school system is a disaster.
Look
at Baltimore. Baltimore had a chief, what the hell was it again? We talked about her, well, whatever the hell it was, another euphemistic title, who said, even though we got people reading at the kindergarten level, first grade level, second grade level, we're going to give them a diploma because their feelings will be hurt. They've already lost sight it's their job to educate people. We continue to add more. We had an educational system that actually was putting people out, and the state wasn't threatening to take them over all the time. And they were reaching their goals of educating our people. But guess what we didn't have? 6 assistant principals, vice principals with assistants, principals with assistants.
Superintendents with assistants?
Superintendents with 6 assistants.
Yep.
What else? Oh, deans of students. All kinds of stuff. And now we're going to get our chief operations officer, baloney, oversight. Oh, there's no oversight. But look, what's their answer? Did anybody stand up in a school committee and say, no, we're not going to hire any of these people. We're going to set this stuff in to enhance education for the kids in the classroom. Nobody gets hired anymore because we can't crack the top 200 in the state of Massachusetts. Those bozos, that's all they do is hire people and spend money and create jobs, and our children can't get a decent education. We can't get in the top 200. And in case they don't know that, because I know some of them are not really good at numbers, his name shall remain nameless. However, we have 351 cities and towns in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Divide 351. Throw out the 1. So
175.
175.
Is halfway through the list.
You would have to be 174th or 175th if you wanted to call it a tie, but I call it a tie. You don't even want to 174th. We can't crack the top 200.
Well,
we're not even within 26 communities are cracking the lower part of the top half.
Well,
and they never stop spending. Look at our educational system. Nationwide, we spend more money on education than any country in the world.
And we have the poorest performing schools.
And we have
the poorest performing schools.
We have third world countries with better performance. We're like 36th in math in the world. So look, listen, you blue state people who think the only thing you do is get reelected, spend money, and keep giving your friends jobs. People are sick and tired. This is the end. This inflation is going to wake the people up like it did when we had the recall.
Well, you know, what's interesting is, you know, Biden wants to raise the Fed rate because he thinks that will stop inflation. And every economic person I've heard, every economist, everywhere I've heard, I've watched it on Fox, I've watched it on MSNBC, I've watched it, you know, on the local news, I've watched it. They all say the same thing. If he goes any higher on the Fed rate, he will put us into a recession. Now, imagine that, a recession. You know,
who predicted that on his show?
I know, we did already.
Yeah.
And it's almost unheard of that a president meet with the chairman of the Fed, and he's already done that. So we're into some deep problems.
Oh, no,
here.
look, we know this is coming, CJ. We know that we predicted because it's just the inflationary cycle always ends up in a major recession.
Right.
But what he's doing, well, look who he's got in charge. Look at that silver-haired gnome that he's got there. She was saying for months, I was watching a collage of her saying, oh, no, this is transitory. Oh, it's only going to be a short time. Oh, don't worry about it. It's going to be, we're going to just print more money, which creates more inflation.
Right.
Anybody knows that. But look, I got to give Joe Biden credit. He has no idea where the Fed even is. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. What he did was he got the paper that they handed him and he went, I'm going to go have a meeting with the Fed and we're going to talk about raising interest rates. Okay, Joe. What did you just say? I want to know where the nearest ice cream parlor was. Okay, so that's what we got in charge of the country.
Boy, that sounds like Fall River.
But the fact is, this isn't going to go away. It's going to get worse. Everybody's predicting it. It's going to be $8. It's already $8 a gallon in the lands of fruits and nuts over there in California.
And in Fall River today, I saw gas $5.15 a gallon.
Yeah, well, I paid, gee, I don't know, I forgot, it was up there. But the thing was, I think the last time I gassed up my car and it wasn't empty, it was like quarter of a tank, it cost me $50. Last time it cost me $62 to fill it up, about the approximate same amount. So, I mean, how are people going to survive? And these people are wandering around and they just spend money, never in an inflationary cycle. And I think Paul Coogan may be old enough to remember when the United States of America and its president instituted wage and price control. Companies could not raise their prices on goods, and people could not give out pay raises nationally. You had to go through a whole set of federal, hearings and justify why you wanted to give somebody a pay raise to stop inflation. That happened during Richard Nixon's
I was going to say that was Nixon.
Nixon
and Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they did to stop it. And that was because of the inflation and the recession that took off after the Vietnam War ended.
Right.
Because the Vietnam War, as you know, in your economics, that you don't know that, but wars do not cure economic problems. Only World War II did, because they had no consumer goods to buy, and they rationed gas, everything. So when the war ended, people had money, then they began to produce consumer goods, and it stabilized the economy. But ever since then, every war we've had, because the dummy Democrats still think that wars will help, so they want to start wars all the time. But the fact is that now wars actually create the opposite. They create inflation and recessions, because when you have everybody working in the war industries and other industries, you get close to full employment when you have a war. And then you have consumer goods being produced. What's the simple law in capitalism? You charge what the market will bear.
Exactly.
Now, if you got 7,000 people chasing your product instead of 7, what are you going to do with the price? Let's have a bidding war. And you will charge what you can get, just like they're doing with houses in Fall River. But it seems that these dummies who are in charge of our finances haven't figured that out yet. So, CJ, you and I I think they sent us the letters first just to piss us off, but they did.
Yeah, and and I've got a big bank.
Yeah.
You're at least dealing with a smaller bank.
Yeah.
I've got a big bank. I've got the Bank of America.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Which is actually an international bank.
Exactly, and I mean, they still try to personalize it with the letters, so it gets to be a little ridiculous. But we're looking at this, and where was Paul last night? Where he went to a benefit for the St. Anne's Shrine. He found time to go down to the Providence Truck Festival. I'm not calling it the Fall River Truck Festival because it's the Providence Truck Festival, and he calls it a tremendous success. And he wants to thank Elena, his PR person in the office that we pay $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for, because she did it all. She did it all alone. And it just gets to be ridiculous. I mean, we need leadership, okay? And I'm going to bring this back up because we heard this throughout the last campaign. Full-time leadership. Remember? Full-time leadership. Where is it? I haven't seen it yet. He's been the most ceremonious mayor I've seen.
Well, that's what he meant by leader. He's leading the parades.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's definitely leading the parades. And it just gets really, it's terrible. It's terrible. Just so people know, there is an event this weekend over by Government Center. It's June, which is Pride Month, for those of our gay, lesbian, and transsexual community. There is an event on Sunday between noon and 5 p.m., I believe. And if you want to go, it's family friendly. Feel free to go. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. We'll see you on Monday.
You're going to be